when we're talking about this new song, and as a comedian and as a linguist, I'm gonna say the word here so that everybody knows, and that's what you're gonna clip. We're looking at words that are offensive, a song that is offensive, but one is a boogeyman word. We have one noun, a verb, and a noun. Okay, we have a noun by itself, contextually. That's bad, shouldn't say it, but it's not imbued with any power outside of historical context. The last noun, Hitler, is imbued with the power of the verb that precedes it, hail, to praise, to venerate.
I can't think of anyone who's more of a circus clown than Steven Crowder. And well, he loves to do and say provocative things that get him in trouble, and then he loves to pretend to be the victim. And so this right-wing podcaster, Steven Crowder, got his fifis hurt after Piers Morgan censored him for using the N-word on his show. So we'll get to Crowder being a big baby in just a second, but first you gotta understand the context and how we got here, right? So for those who might have missed this awful story, recently there was a woman, a mother by the name of Shiloh Hendricks, who went viral and raised almost $800,000 after she called a 5-year-old the N-word. Okay, multiple times.
She's disgusting.
She is disgusting. So she accused this 5-year-old child of taking something from her child's bag or something like. It's a 5-year-old. It's a 5-year-old, okay, but decided to refer to the child as the N-word. Okay. Reprehensible, disgusting human being. Now, it may be hard to see, but she writes in that description, I called the kid out for what she was, or what he was. Can we call her out for what she is?
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't stand the fact that people felt the need to donate money to this woman for bullying a 5-year-old and calling him the N-word. But okay, I guess that's the country we live in. So Christian social media influencer Lily Gaddis then went on Piers Morgan's show to not only stand up in support of Hendricks, but also admit that she openly uses the N-word regularly. Take a look.
I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
N.
not have
Go on,
free
go
speech.
on. Say the N-word. Go on.
No.
Hang
Don't
on.
invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here.
Okay, so Crowder had an issue. God, like, by the way, I mean, you're proud of yourself, lady? Like, she's like going on national television. Actually, I don't know if it's on television, but going on Piers Morgan's show, which has a huge viewership, and patting yourself on the back because you like to use that racial slur. I don't understand people, man. So Crowder had an issue with the challenge that Piers Morgan offered to Gaddis, calling it disingenuous. So Morgan decided to have Crowder on to hash things out. On Piers Morgan Uncensored on Tuesday, Crowder argued self-censorship has led to certain words carrying too much power while discussing the difference between using the N-word in a song, Kanye literally dropping a tune with a chorus that repeats Heil Hitler. That song has been removed from various social media platforms, but it has continued popping up on X. So he's about to make this argument, so brace for impact. Let's take a look at what he has to say.
I think saying Heil Hitler is bad. Okay, that is not, however, a violation in any way. Your First Amendment protects it. Now saying I would like to, I am calling you to enact what Hitler has enacted, that's a call to action. Defamation requires damages. And I wanna get to this because this does matter, okay? When we're talking about this new song, and as a comedian and as a linguist, I'm gonna say the word here so that everybody knows, and that's what you're gonna clip. We're looking at words that are offensive, a song that is offensive, but one is a boogeyman word. We have one noun, a verb, and a noun. Okay, we have a noun by itself, contextually. That's bad, shouldn't say it, but it's not imbued with any power outside of historical context. The last noun, Hitler, is imbued with the power of the verb that precedes it, hail, to praise, to venerate. That'll get clipped, even though I'm condemning the song as anti-Semitic, and not one person here who would be the victim of a more severe call to action is going to say it's anti-Semitic. I think we're in a silly point in this country when we're pulling this clip to condemn the anti-Semitism here at the studio, and people going, hey, can I get a second cut of that N-word, Heil Hitler?
I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, that was gobbledygook. Kamala Harris makes more sense.
100%.
Like, what the hell was that word salad? I think he just wanted to say the word and he came up with his convoluted BS.
Yes.
Just to be able to say it so he gets more attention. Why? Because he's not on YouTube anymore. Maybe he's not getting enough audience on the platform that he's on. So he's like, look at me, daddy, look at me. I'm gonna say the N-word.
One trick pony. That's Steven Crowder's MO. One trick pony. No talent, nothing interesting to say. So he likes to say provocative things, gets in trouble for it because various platforms don't want you spewing racial slurs. And then he makes himself out to be a victim. So now Crowder did end up saying the word, and obviously it was censored because it's the N-word. And look, YouTube does have like rules, some rules, right? And so you can't be using that word. It's against their terms of service. So Crowder had a problem with it, saying, hey, Piers Morgan, I thought your show was called Uncensored. Care to explain why you felt the need to literally censor my words? See if you can catch it. And Morgan did explain why. Yeah, sure, you said the N-word, and we don't allow that on our show. It's not about censorship, but about respect for Black people. He also called out Gaddis again after she popped in to call. Look, I'm just so sick of the attention suckers, right? Like the people who are like, it's the attention economy. I've got nothing interesting to offer, so let me just be provocative for provocation's sake, and maybe I'll make some money on Twitter, or maybe I'll get a few followers. Maybe I could pretend to be a big bad victim because of the censorship and start a GoFundMe page. It's just so sad and pathetic. I just want these, like, you know what? It's partly Piers Morgan's fault too. Like you should have some standards for your guests, just some. Like, who is this Gaddis person? Like, what even are you? Like, what do you do? Like, what's your claim to fame? What have you contributed to society that makes your opinion on a panel or debate worthy of listening to?
I hear you, but I got a little bit different thought on that. So he's opening up the aperture for more people, different opinions. So one of the issues with cable news is you have to have status in order to be on cable news.
Look, I agree that's a problem with cable news. I'm not even talking about status. I'm talking about the substance of the person.
Yeah.
Right? Do they have an interesting take that's worthy of listening to? All she did is just go on the show and be like, I say the N-word, yeah. Okay, good for you. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. And so, but when you open up the window a little bit more, you get good things and bad things that come in. I know we've done it here, and then we had some bad folks come in and cause a mess, etc. Right? And turn right wing, yada yada. Right? So, but I understand the downsides, Anna, but I prefer that mess on Piers' show to the tightly scripted cable news. Now, this is establishment person number 1, and for variety, we brought in establishment person number 2, and we'll have a totally fake conversation about, we hear there's a rise in populism, we're in favor of it. Now, we'll do more wars to help Israel, and we will now do more tax cuts. So everything's fake, right? So as messy as Piers' show is, and I've contributed to that from time to time, at least there's an actual interesting conversation going on.
I hear what you're saying, but my argument is that the Gaddises and the Crowders of the world are also fake.
Oh, I hear you, but then it gets really hard to discern. But okay, so now, look, I like this new acronym that I'm claiming you came up with, even though I just did it. You called them attention suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's attention sucker syndrome.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, so
ASS.
Okay, so if you want to make an ass of yourself,
Yeah.
you get attention sucker syndrome, and you'll drop the N-word for no reason.
Yeah.
Right, and just to get more attention. And so, and that's Steven Crowder. And so, like where we've talked about, hey, you know, for all the things we massively disagree with Tucker Carlson on, he's come to an interesting position on Israel, on anti-war, etc. To my knowledge, Steven Crowder has come to no interesting positions.
None, not one,
Right.
not one.
So there's like no substance there, and
Imagine that guy being your dad.
yeah, I'm not going to get into that. You know, a lot of people have questions.
No, I'm gonna get into that. I'd be embarrassed if you were my dad.
Yeah, I'm not getting into family. I hear you, but so you said something else that triggered a thought in my head, which is, you know, oh, he's trying to get attention for saying the N-word. Well, she just got attention for saying the N-word. Shiloh did, right?
Yeah.
The one that called a 5-year-old an N-word. And then she raised nearly $1 million.
It's depressing, yeah.
And so Crowder might be thinking, hey, this is a good racket. Maybe if I say it, and then I'll seem like the victim, and then maybe people will give me money, attention, views.
That's been his
money.
racket from day one. Maybe not the N-word per se, but again, like that's his MO. That's what Steven Crowder does, right? Be provocative, provoke people, make yourself out to be the victim, claim that you're for free speech and you've been victimized by censorship. Has he contributed anything interesting or substantive to any conversation, literally ever?
Yeah, and last thing on this. So if you're saying, well, how come black comics or rappers or whatever get to say it, and sometimes a comic that's not black will get say it, because it's a different context, guys. It matters if you're in that group or not in that group. It matters if you're joking or not joking. It matters if you're joking with a friend or trying to make fun of or trying to smear people, trying to get attention, trying to offend people on purpose to get attention. Like, oh, watch, I'm gonna hurt these people, and then I'm so cool, and then people will say, oh, I suck because I'm trying to purposely be offensive, and then I'll be the victim. And by the way, what happened to the right wing on not liking victim mentality, right? And so I hate victim mentality, and so you see people who are victimized, you go help them, right? You bring them back up, and then we go and we lift people up and we go forward, right? But the right wing who claims to hate it sometimes will like guys like Crowder, who are constantly claiming to be victims. Oh, boo-hoo, I got censored just because I purposely said a word to try to offend people.
Right.
Right, boo-hoo this and boo-hoo that. So I'm sick of it. I hate all of these guys who have attention sucker syndrome.
Look, one final thing I'll say about this, and look, I don't begrudge Mark Lamont Hill for reacting the way he did to Piers Morgan kind of egging Gaddis on, like, oh yeah, you're not embarrassed by it, you're proud of it, then go ahead, say it. If you're not ashamed of it, go ahead and say it. And then Mark Lamont Hill had that reaction. He did not want that to happen. I totally get where he's coming from, and I understand how offensive that word is. The thing that I also don't like, though, is giving people like Gaddis any freaking power at all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been called every dirty word in the dictionary, but okay, so a Rabbi Shmuley calls me an anti-Semite. Who cares? What an idiot.
Alex Jones called me Jihad Jane.
Jihadi Jane?
Oh, Jihadi Jane, after I told him to get off the stage, you found.
Yeah, on the other hand, you called him a
which was true, especially at the time.
Pre-Ozempic.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, like both sides, like stop trying to offend people and stop getting offended so much, right? And oh my God, if I try to stop everyone from saying some insulting, derogatory words about Muslims, I'd never do anything else, right? It's an avalanche. So let's get to things that matter and stop playing these nonsense ass games.
No more ass games, unless you're into that. But do that on your own time, privately.
That's a different thing. And so hey, we're libs. You do you, boo. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.